Alright, I think we should be live here. Just bring up the stream to make sure. Alright, I think we should be live here. We have it up. Just bring up the stream to make sure. I feel like I'm getting some lag again, so we might have to restart before the game gets started. Sorry, just trying to get my stream monitor set up here. Alright, well, while we wait, let's take a look at some of the headlines here for this matchup. We've got Spheres of War versus Trailer Park Balls tonight in the first round of Minors playoffs. And we've got Spheres of War coming in at 4th overall in the league at 9-5. And they may be 4th in the league, but they were first in all of Minors in Captive with a plus 54. And Mufro coming in 5th in the league in caps with 53, so definitely an offensive force that we should look forward to tonight. And on the other end, we've got Trailer Park Balls, a team that we've streamed a few times here, coming in at 12th overall. I think they were the last playoffs team, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really too familiar with how the setup went this season for that, but coming in with a 5-9 record, and their leading performers were Bubbles on offense with an 8.32 OGAS, and Weed on defense with an 8.08 DGAS. So those are some players to watch for tonight. And we are doing the pick bans in the group chat, so I will be able to update. So we've got Trailer Park Balls banning Emerald first, and then Spheres of War banned Pilot. And then the first two picks coming in are Cash and Rush. Now we are waiting on the last picks, and Trailer Park Balls will ban Cedar. So Transilio is left over. Laptop still does not have internet, so don't have access to chat right now, unfortunately. But either way, we're still just waiting on teams to ready up here, so we'll have Spheres of War starting off on red, and it will be Mufro and geez, I don't even I haven't gotten to see them yet, so I'm not sure the lineup they run position wise anyways. But then on the other side with Trailer Park Balls on blue, we'll have Cerezdi and Weed, I believe, on defense, with Lionel Messi and Bubbles on offense, although Weed might play offense now that I'm trying to remember, but either way, we'll see. There we go, now I have chat. Alright, so we've launched here, ready for this first half. Had some exciting games last night between Wizard of Balls and Good Gravy Boat. So hopefully get to keep the excitement up here for these playoffs. Alright, so it will be Mufro, and I've been told Blackberry is Tandador. That might be right, but Bamboozler also said that he was Mufro, so the validity of that is still in question. But we will have a Weed on offense for Trailer Park Balls, along with Lionel Messi and Bubbles playing D on the other end. Got Spheres of War's nice pixel imperfect jerseys in red. And Mufro out with a quick grab as the first chance for either team here. And he's going to take the boost up top. Still just one to beat, but decides to wait for this boost spawn. Does get it, but has to back off from it as Cerez is able to cut it off. He's going to try and bait Cerez off the boost backwards, but doesn't end up taking it. He's waiting around for power-ups now, and Mufro's in with the flag, and he gets around Weed. A bit of a questionable positioning there from the Trailer Park Balls OD. Pandador is going to use this rolling bomb to get an extra life, but going to be returned eventually. Now Mufro's past 2, looking for another one here quickly, and ends up getting killed a little bit by Bamboozler there. Didn't really have an angle either way though. Alright, so now Pandador with the flag is able to fool Lino and Weed, but gets past him anyways. But is going to kiss anyways. Now Camel Blues or Ginseng, the last one ahead, and he is able to cut off the boost and get the return just in time. And now with a quick grab here, but not much doing, but he does have some space. Will get returned eventually though. And it'll stay 1-0 for Spheres of War. We now out the flag, going to be trailed by Ginseng with the boost. Doesn't end up taking it. Now Weed being pushed behind, but now he's past 2. Has the 2v2 blocks in base. They're able to shift upwards though, and Weed will end up being returned. Ginseng had the anti on the other end. Ooh, Mufro just gets around Bubbles. The Trailer Park Ball's defense is struggling a little bit keeping the flag in base here, as the Spheres of War offenders are just barely able to get around them pretty often here to start. Ginseng is going to sneak out of rolling, as is Bubbles. Jin's quickly going to use his to get Tandor out here. And again, Bubbles gets beat on the contain. Still 2 to beat for Blackberry, and he's not going to be able to do it. Now Weed's going to have an out past 3, doesn't elect to take the boost, and can't quite make it past Ginseng on the OD in time. Did have the angle, but not the time. Now Mufro is bringing in the flag. Weed's going to catch up to him though. But he will have the boost around. Oh, it almost gets past Lionel Messi, but he will be there for the tag. Ginseng is going to take the nice aggressive boost, but won't be able to get past Bubbles. And we're still in a tight 1-cap game here, early in game 1. Alright, so again, a power up going to each team. And yeah, that's been the case for each round so far, I believe. Both defenses keeping the flag in base here to keep the resets. And so move forward now with the flag for Spheres of War. Going to be chased back towards the bomb and not going to be able to get the out. And Bubbles is going to win out of rolling, as will Ginseng. Both will be quickly defused though. So the way things are going, we would have a quiet minute here, but Tandador is making me eat my words. Can't quite take the boost in time, but Mufro is again past 1. But again, going to be cleaned up in his own base. So far, Trailer Park Ball's kind of struggling in keeping the flag in base, but so far making the plays that they need to on OD. Still puts their offense in a tight position though, with not really much of a chance for an out so far. And Raspberry's going to, or Blackberry rather, is going to end up boosting straight into the spike. Let's see if Lionel Messi can earn this reset, and he does. Now is the time where Trailer Park Balls are going to want to try and keep the flag in base as long as they can here for their offense to have a chance to get out with the flag. Just as I say that though, Mufro is going to be able to get around the contain again. Lionel Messi does have the boost, but it's Cerez who picks up the return. They do make the good contain here, pushing Tanador off the team boost, but he's going to be able to work his way around. Had the angle for a second there, but Trailer Park Ball's defense are able to adjust. Mufro just holding around here for his handoff, or his regrab rather. And he will be returned. And Trailer Park Ball is looking for this reset, but the Spears of War defense are able to get the same. Alright, so power-ups coming up here again with just around 3 minutes to go. Looks like, oh no, I was going to say Spears of War were in position to win both of them, but Bubbles comes in out of nowhere to steal the tag throw. See if they're able to get their first real offensive chance of the night with it. And Bubbles will be able to get out, has to grab with the tag throw though. Mufro's still with the flag for Spears of War. Bubbles making nice moves around on the other side. And he will be able to hold for a little bit longer. Which is, I say that Ginseng makes a nice snipe. Now Spears of War backtracking here for this reset. And lots of returns in their base. They are pressuring here. And Mufro is going to be around the defense. That would be a nice team cap for Spears of War to take a 2-cap lead. Just as I say that though, Lionel Messi out with the flag. Pass forward, just needs a block from Cerez and he will get it. So Trailer Park Balls are able to counter nicely. After some excitement, power-ups will come up again here, and Trailer Park Balls are able to win out both of them. Just the Juke Juice will be on the board though. Lionel Messi should have this out, and he does have the team boost to work with, but Bamboozer had the angle. So lead in base with the flag, but not going to be able to get around the OD. Lionel Messi with another chance. He's past 2 and can get around the block. And they do get the return in time. A nice cap from Trailer Park Balls there to even up the score. Weed's going to get spiked just in time for powers to come up, so now Bamboozer should have an intact rolling bomb. Gonna be forced to keep it on defense though. Ginseng not quite gonna be able to get past Weed, but Mufro with some room to work with here. Lionel Messi has the same though, he's bringing it to base. And we'll see whose anti prevails here, as now Spears of War with the only anti, but Mufro is gonna be returned regardless. Lionel Messi does have the angle, and Tanador is going to end up having to let's to kiss. And now Cerez with a good chance here. Trailer Park Ball's defense do get the return that they need, and Cerez is able to get around Ginseng for the leading cap now. It's Trailer Park Balls in these last few minutes put the caps together that they needed, but just as I say that, Ginseng is going to have the last laugh, maybe? He has to slow down, but Cerez not in the right position, and we'll end up tied. Alright, so quick intermission here, and we are already back in the launcher. Alright, so Trailer Park Ball is carrying some momentum here. They were down for a large portion of that first half, but their defense started to lock it down when they needed to, and the coordination was there for them, so see how that carries over into this second half cash. Rez making the good read, and Trailer Park Ball's defense will lock it down. We should have some room to work with here with the boost, and can't quite take it on the first try. Spheres of War defense doing a good job locking it down so far as well. So we'll see what power-ups can do to break this early stalemate. Trailer Park Balls will win out both of them, and both will be in play on offense, as Bubbles will win out a rolling grab with the Tag Pro lead. Spheres of War doing all they can to get set up in the OD area of Trailer Park Ball's base. But we coming in with that Tag Pro looking to do some damage. The return not going to be there though, as Bamboozler gets out. And he might have a cap here. A great counter from Bamboozler if Cerez can't quite get to the flag, but he will. Just in time. And for the time being, Bamboozler is going to be denied of a very nice cap, but he is doing his best to stay alive and keep the chance here for Spheres of War. Some very nice flag carrying from Bamboozler. And we'll see if it pays off for him. Going to have to settle for a kiss though. This is a good chance for our Trailer Park Balls, as well as Weed coming in with the flags. Rez had the good returns there in base. So Trailer Park Balls, after some threat from Spheres of War, are able to take the lead. And Cerez out with the flag now as well, going to be able to backtrack bottom with his team boost. And we'll see what he is able to make of it. Almost gets around Ginseng, but he'll be there for the return. Bubbles now with the Jute Juice coming in hot past two. Is trying to work his way around with the boost, but Ginseng is there. Still though, Trailer Park Balls with the momentum as they're coming in with regrab after regrab. You know, Messi does rush it a little bit there, but Weed still out with the flag. And Spheres of War desperately in need of some anti to get reset here. But as I say that, Weed coming in hot. Now Spheres of War should have a little more time to backtrack for this reset. Ooh, Cerez had the boost earlier, is still able to get out past two though. And it's just chance after chance for Trailer Park Balls. Oh, Cerez making the move on Ginseng, but the cap is not there. Now move forward with the first real chance for Spheres of War to get reset here. And they will be able to convert. A lot of offensive pressure there from Trailer Park Balls to start the second half. Fortunately for Spheres of War, it only results in one cap, but just as I say that, Bubbles coming in hot and just gets around the 2v1 blocks, and they're able to make it a 2-cap lead. Weed again out with the flag for Trailer Park Balls. And just what I was saying about the Trailer Park Balls defense last game is certainly true for Spheres of War this game. They are certainly struggling to keep the flag in base. 2 tag pros now for Trailer Park Balls are not going to help that cause. Cerez looking for the boost block there, but not going to get it. Still, the power-ups in base should be help to him. Weed's going to take it out of base a little bit now, get behind the tag pro, and good teamwork from the Trailer Park Balls. They extend their lead now to 3. And make that 4 as Lionel Messi got out past 4. Everyone was still spawning for Spheres of War. So Trailer Park Balls putting in the work early here. Certainly it named the underdog. But definitely not playing it like it in this second half. We looking for this boost block from Lionel Messi, not going to get it in time. Trailer Park Ball's defense on the other end, still walking it down. Definitely made the adjustment throughout that first half, and they've carried through here on Cash. Getting a power up going to each team, but again, a tie pro going to Trailer Park Balls. That should net them this out if Lionel Messi can take it right. Weed's going to get him behind the lead, and Trailer Park Balls will be out with the flag. They have the 2v2 blocks in base. Weed has to wait though, and Bamboozler is there for the return. A bit too aggressive there from Weed, or a bit too slow from the Tag Pro, depending on who you ask. Good boost block from Weed though, gets Lionel Messi some space, but Jin's there for the read. And now Bamboozler with a good chance for Spheres of War to get back on the board, but Weed makes the split. Gonna get killed by Bubbles though. And they should have the blocks here. Bamboozler just getting past Cerez. So still plenty of time on the clock here, but Spheres of War still struggling to prevent the regrabs. But just that I say that, Bubbles misses the handoff. That's why a countdown for return happening is so critical. Fortunately, I didn't make plans to get any listen-ins tonight, so I'm not gonna just hop into teams' channels, but I imagine that's what happens there. And now Ginseng is going to get through the blocks. A nice weave from him to put Spheres of War back within 2. Mufro looking to make it closer still. Trailer Park Ball's OD does a nice job of cutting off the boost, but Mufro has this team boost to work with. Lots of angles that he can take it with, but instead he takes it straight into Cerez for the return. Bamboozler though with a nice boost on the other end to get out past 1. Cerez should again be there to lock it down. And he takes a nice boost back to get the reset. Trailer Park Ball's meanwhile winning out both pups again. They should be able to use this Choo-Choos to keep the reset. And Bubbles now out past 3. Has the team boost to work with as well. But Bamboozler takes the bomb. Bubbles can't quite get in the cap in time. Very lucky grab there from Spheres of War to keep the deficit at 2. So still things close here with just over 2 minutes to go. Spheres of War doing all that they need, or all that they can rather, to keep in it. Bamboozler looking for some help from his offensive partner here. Gonna see where he can take this boost. Elects not to take it. And gonna be contained here, but the handoff goes to Mufro. Bubbles still with the angle on the Choo-Choos. And he will get the return and the boost straight into the spike. Still the Trailer Park Ball is keeping the flag in base, and we will get some help from Lionel Messi. He will be out past 2. They get the boost block, and Trailer Park Balls again are up by 3 with just over a minute to go here. Lionel Messi gets another great out, and he's past 3. Takes a nice boost into the corner. A very clean cap from Lionel Messi. Trailer Park Balls are playing like they are ready to move on to the next round already. Although both power-ups going to Spheres of War here, looking to get right back in it with some power-ups. But the return not going to happen, and now Mufro is going to be returned. And Bubbles has the anti on the other end. Lean on Messi can't quite take it into base just yet. But with time running out, looks like Trailer Park Balls should be able to take this one fairly handily. Oh. I'm done. Missed that they were just testing. I was gonna say, this is a very quick turnaround. Alright, So we've got, again, Trailer Park Balls coming away with something of an upset in the first half, or first game rather. We'll see what the quick pace of Rush can do to change the dynamic here, if at all. Or if Trailer Park Balls are going to continue to push forward here. Defense looking very solid for Trailer Park Balls since about midway through the first half. Blackberry though with a quick out, and they will put on the first cap of the half for Spheres of War. We're looking for another chance here. A nice move around. Just gonna get returned by Lionel Messi here, but Tanador again with a good chance, and they will get the cap as well as the tag pro. Weed winning out one by himself on the other end. See what Ginseng's able to do with his own tag pro. He looks like he will be out past 3, and Tanador gets the clutch return on the other end. And this will be a quick 3-cap lead for Spheres of War to start off on Rush, so certainly a very different feel from the ending of Cash here. We looking to get something going for Trailer Park Balls. Is going to take a nice quick aggressive boost, but Tanador is there for the read, and Ginseng, or rather Weed can't wrap it around. Mufro again with a good boost though, and Spheres of War keeping their foot on the gas to start. Mufro will be quickly returned though, and now Cerez is past 3. Tanador gets the grab on the other end and results in a kiss. Ginseng just making his way under the boost, and now Bubbles the last one ahead. He should have this boost in the flag, and he is able to take it. But 2 tackles now going to Spheres of War here. Bubbles still with the flag, trying to work his way in past 2 tag pros, but now they both come towards the Spheres of War base, and Cerez is going to be the last one ahead, and Mufro just able to time the cap right. Lionel Messi can't quite get the grab off in time, but he is out with the flag past 2. Weed getting the returns in base. Now they just need to set up the 2v2 blocks, and they are there. Lionel Messi takes the corner, and they're able to get on the board. Our Trailer Park Balls. Ooh, Bubbles almost gets saved by Weed. It's not going to be though, and Tanador puts in the cap on the other end. Mufro trying to wrap around, but the Trailer Park Balls OD are there now. Lionel Messi has a good chance to be past few. Takes another nice corner. It's the second time he's done that tonight, but had the cap straight in. Doesn't get the comms, I don't think. And the cap is not the V. Weed though with another chance. He's working his way in past 3. The returns are there for Weed, and it is just 3-cap deficit for Trailer Park Balls. Looking to make it more still, but Lionel Messi going to get cleaned up. Now we will peel off for the power up, and he will have the single one remaining. Bamboozler didn't know that the power up was taken, so he ended up going for it, but still able to get ahead. Yeah, Lionel Messi's been taking corners very nicely, and it's led to some nice gaps to start off the night. We had a really nice one on Cash to secure the gap. Ginseng able to make the read for the choke. We looking for the handoff here, and he will be able to get out just past Mufro. Still 2 to beat though. Oh, might have had the angle. Such a fast pace though, it's tough to work his way in there, and Spheres of War are able to shut down the cap. Messi just looking for the opening here. Bam's gonna have to make the aggressive play, and he gets the noob spike to slow down. Was that Lionel Messi? Now Tanador on the other end, bringing in the flag. They get the sacks. Nice play from Spheres of War. But we with another opportunity here. Blue team able to make the moves to get ahead though. And Weed almost gets returned by Tanador, but not quite going to be so. The tag pros end up really being for naught though for trailer park balls. We're gonna end up spiking his, or rather returning his teammate, so still a chance for Cerez here. Both teams out with the flag right now. Cerez looking for this kiss to get Lionel Messi the rolling handoff, but doesn't look like it's going to be able to happen for him. And the rolling bomb gets defused, so Lionel Messi will have to get an out here without a rolling bomb, and now this is looking for Spheres of War. They're able to use their attack pros effectively and take a 5-cap lead to start off this rush half. Tanador taking the good boost around the Trailer Park Balls defense. They will peel off to play anti, trying to get some stability on defense. Mufro has the boost to work with, and Bubbles shutting it down before power-ups come up here. Trailer Park Balls may be able to win both of them, but Mufro... Oh no, Cerez somehow got it! The weird shape of their jerseys threw me off. Thought he was going to have that. And Trailer Park Balls are able to make a cap out of it. As I'm rambling. But now both teams holding around. Alright, so just a little over a minute and a half to go here. Both defenses keeping the flag in base, and Spheres of War should have the first out after I say that. Bamboos are having to take a little scenic route though and not going to make it through. But now Spheres of War have the regrab train going, and this should result in a cap as the nice defense pays off. And they're back to a 5-cap lead. Weed having a backtrack here, and he will have to get an out. Just narrowly misses the spikes, but Mufro will be able to take a juke juice from the top, and the bottom pub will be quickly defused. So this will not really benefit either team, as both defenses are able to make the adjustments and keep the reset. And so looks like we will finish here with a 5-cap lead for Spheres of War.
2, 1.
Alright, we are good to go here. So we'll see if Spheres of War's comeback here is able to get completed. Definitely have made the transitions necessary after a tough first game. Just I'd say that the Wii gets the quick out for Trailer Park Balls. Still 3 to beat though, but having his way around with the boost shakes off Ginseng a little bit, but Mufro and Tanador are able to crowd the flag effectively. Yeah, I've been streaming Trailer Park Balls a couple times this season, and they've certainly played well. Obviously, I haven't seen every single one of their games, so I don't know what the situations were for their less than ideal record, but they definitely have the capability to play really well when they show up. Tanador able to get the good grab off. Weed's going to have a rolling bomb though, not really in danger of getting returned anytime soon. He will get aggressive for this return for Cap here, and he's going to get the defuse, but can't quite shake off the defenders well enough. Bubbles now with another chance for power-up grab, and those are going to be returned on the other end. So Bubbles will have the block, and Trailer Park Balls get on the board early here in the second half. Still with 4 cap deficit to try and deal with though. We looking to narrow that down as he gets a good out, but Mufro with an equally good snipe. Messi trying to get around the blocks here. He makes the move on Bamboozler, but Spheres of War are able to get in the base quick enough. Some returns in base though for Trailer Park Balls. They're going to look to hold around for pups here though. Should be able to win out this Street Juice. Bubble's going to take it instead, try to get a quicker return with it. But Ginseng on the other end has the rolling bomb grab. Trailer Park Balls making the good plays to get a quick return on that rolling bomb. But Mufro with that handoff. So Trailer Park Ball is looking to set up some 2v2 blocks here. Weed's pushing up, and Lionel Messi's making his way around Mufro to intimidate him a little bit there, and Lionel Messi had to back off from the flag. So we've got some grabs coming up just before power-ups. Spheres of War should be in position to win theirs, but they do not. And Weed was able to easily win the top pup for Trailer Park Balls. He's going to have to make a play here as Tanador has passed a few. Bubbles right on his tail, but Weed getting double blocked out means that Spheres of War inched their lead back up to 5. He's looking to counter here with a nice out. Takes it a little too aggressively. Now Bam has a good chance to be out past a few. Cerez ended up delaying. He probably got the word that Bamboozler was out past 3 and ended up hesitating way too long. Still should have taken the boost and just stayed safe in the puck corner. It's now Spheres of War in good position to force this game 3. Certainly things can change in a second though on this fast-paced rush map. Both teams out with the flag here, looking for that first return. Cerez has the anti on the other end, but of the trailer park balls defenders ends up spiking themselves, so Ufo is going to be able to hold as long as he wants, but just as I say that, he boosts straight into Cerez. And Weed's past a couple here. Bubbles should be able to keep this this reset. Weed just squeezes it in for the cap. A bit closer than maybe it should have for trailer park balls, but they are able to capitalize. Yeah, Messi going for the grab as power-ups are coming up. Both teams have a chance to win each pup, but Spheres of War able to win out both, including a tag pro. Will have to be kept on defense though. Spheres of War is certainly probably going to be content to try and slow things down here and try and waste out some of the clock. So they've netted themselves a 6-cap lead. Sorry about that, just getting a few things set up. So we've got just over 3 minutes to go here. Spheres of War and Trailer Park Balls both holding around. Trailer Park Balls will be able to get the first return. Bubbles still having to play 2v1 on defense though. Means that Ginseng will get out with the flag. Now Weed's going to get spiked, so Cerez going to have to hold here as Ginseng has the anti. Ufro just missing the snipe. Now Leon Messi on the other end having the anti set up. Cerez will want to backtrack for this tag pro, but Bamboozler is going to be able to boost above him and take it out of his hands. Trailer Park Balls should be able to earn this reset here, and Bubbles not quite able to get out past the third Spheres of War defender. Leon Messi making some moves, and he should be loose here, but wasn't meant to be. Now Bamboozler with a good chance. He's passed a few. Takes it in through the spike. Has to readjust, but does. And Spheres of War make it a 7-cap lead. Now Mufer with a good corner to stay alive here, being tailed closely by Leon Messi, who again takes a nice corner to get himself in a better position, but still going to be behind, and Mufro can't quite get it in time as Cerez came off with a grab just early enough. But Blackberry will put in the cap nonetheless, and the boat as well. Mufro somehow gets out past the 2 blocks, but then will eventually be returned, as will we. Got power-ups coming up here, but they need about a quadruple tag pro for Trailer Park Balls to be able to mount this comeback. Sorry about that. I was trying to update that as it was happening, and I just hear cap after cap after cap. Alright, so we're here on this deciding map of Transilio. Well, these guys have, or rather all these guys have put in the work tonight. And it all come down to this map. See who can move on to the Foci 4. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we've had Trailer Park Balls come away with a pretty dominant Game 1 win on Cash, and Spheres of War come back with a very dominant Rush win. So we'll see what these teams can do here. They've shown, each of them, that they're very capable of working together cohesively and really working together well tonight. So just going to come down to maybe a few seconds, or rather a few minutes of really solid play. So Bamboozler on the one end with a typo grab, and Lionel Messi's going to have to make something happen, and he won't be able to do it as Spheres of War were quickly closing in, and they will take the early lead on Transilio. Pro trying to get out of the Trailer Park Ball's base here. A lot of Trailer Park Ball's defense in his way though. Bubbles will be able to get the return as well as the Tie Pro. Now Leo Messi with the power up of his own, looking to get his own return. Luckily does not force himself into the spike. Ginseng still with the flag though. Blackberry coming in hot with the juke juice, and he's going to be able to earn himself a kiss and prevent the cap for Trailer Park Balls. Things settling down here still. So Bubble's able to earn himself the solo return for the reset. Won't result in any offensive momentum though, as his team was going for power-ups. Mufro did the same and he was able to earn a juke juice, but still Trailer Park Ball's coming in with his Type Pro lead now. Bamboozler has some work to get out past a few here now. Lionel Messi coming in with a lot of Spheres of War members on his tail, but still going to be alive with the flag. But Blackberry also going to be able to get out, but he ends up spiking himself. I think I didn't really see. Lionel Messi going to have to backtrack though. Takes it out maybe a little bit far. Still with some room to work with though. Ginseng was able to get around the block very easily though. And still Lionel Messi getting pushed back. Can he put it in? No, he cannot. Got another round of power-ups coming up here. Spheres of War holding on to a tenuous 1 cap lead. It's both these teams looking to extend their seasons into the next week. And we looking to make that possible for Trailer Park Balls with a cap, but cannot do so. Lionel Messi with a chance as he's able to sneak past one defender. Cannot get past the second though. Both teams doing a pretty good job so far of reading the portal plays from their opposing offenders. Definitely going to be critical moving forward. They want to keep the flag in base. Bubbles making a nice read on the top bomb play and looking for this double return. He will be able to get it. Bamboozler still with the Type Pro, which should be out any second. Suarez looking to hold around for this portal play. Instead is going to get the handoff out to Lionel Messi. Will then be quickly out past 2. Has to get under Mufro. Can't quite decisively make that read. Might have had some space underneath the block. Alright, so just past the halfway mark here, and still a close one. Not a whole lot of excitement happening here on offense for either team. Very low hold numbers for both teams, but this should change with the Tag Pro for 2 Tag Pros rather for Spheres of War, but they quickly run out just as I bring them up. Suarez making his way just past the spike, but still Blackberry's ahead of him. But he gets himself in the right position for the return on the bomb snipe. Again, goes back for the double return, but can't get it this time. And now Spheres of War threatening as Bubbles is going to get pushed out of the way, and Spheres of War are able to make it 2-0. after a long scoreless sequence there. Bubble's looking to make something happen here on the solo offense. Might have had the gate, and this time he will go for it. Looking to make Ginseng miss, and he does. Still has his work cut out for him, though, as 3 Spheres of War members ahead of him. And this is changing something. Spheres of War are able to tack on another one. Bamboozler with a nice pump grab here and gets himself some space, as well as the boost. Almost gets over Weed for what would have been a nice cap, but Lionel Messi was there for the grab anyways. Bubbles makes his way underneath the blocks, has another one in base, and a return as well. Tanador is going to get returned, just has to get past Ginseng, but now Bamboozler coming in hot. Ginseng's going to get returned. They need one more return, but Spheres of War is seeming to be able to come in at the right time, and Tanador is going to be there for the return. Now 2 pups going to Spheres of War here as time winds down on this second to last half. Now Tanador is going to be able to get out with the flag, and he's passed a few. But we're going to be able to use the tag pro to get out, but now Bamboozler has a return. And Spheres of War threatening, but Bamboozler is going to be returned. Ufo looking to attack on this last second cap. Still 3 to beat. Might wait around for this boost, and he will. Weed's right on his tail though, and might have waited too long. And he'll be returned regardless. Alright, so we've launched here for what should be this final half, and the deciding one at that. Trailer Park Ball season on the line after a dominant first game on cash. And now a 3-cap deficit to overcome if they want their season to continue. Move forward with Quick Grab, he will be equally as quickly returned. Messi on the other end can't quite get anything going. Looks to have an out here with a nice block from Blackberry. Still 3 to beat though, so Bubble's going to make his way back for anti. Hooper going to be able to work his way around now, just past 1. But Weed ends up in the right position for the return. Bubble's looking to have this solo turn, but instead going to peel off for the pup. So Blackberry's coming in with the flag, and Weed ends up out of position as well. So Spheres of War attack on the first cap of this half. Now Bubbles with a anti-grab with the tag pro. But Cerez is going to luckily be up past a few, and now Bubbles has the tag pro to try and keep the flag and base here for Trailer Park Balls. Going to try and have this block on Bamboozler, but Cerez not able to make his way around. Spheres of War make the play. Bamboozler looking for more help from Blackberry, but not going to get it this time around. We looking to make something happen for Trailer Park Balls. Still looking to get on the board on this Transilio game, but not going to happen this time. Bubbles wins out a tag pro from Blackberry. 2 juke juices though going to Spheres of War, but Lionel Messi bringing it around up top, and they will finally get on the board. Will Trailer Park Balls and keep the flag at that, but so will Spheres of War on the other end. Bubbles looking to make a last-ditch effort here with tag pro, but it will run out. Now the Trailer Park Balls need this reset here. They were brought out to midfield, but they are able to maintain it. About 3 minutes in here, and we've got another round of power-ups coming up. And Spheres of War again in position to win at least 2 out of the 3. Ginseng fighting hard for this mid power-up, but Bull's just there in time to win it out. And we'll see what they can do with this tag pro on offense. Might not be much here, as Bamboozler has a tag pro on defense himself. Now Blackberry's coming in with his Juke Juice hold, and that will be a nice cap for Spheres of War. Easy to bring in there with the power-ups. Messi looking for some bomb help from Cerez, but it's just going to end up pushing him into the spikes. Now Bubbles trying to get in position to stop the bleeding here for Trailer Park Balls at this point, as needing to pile on caps of their own, but instead letting up a few to start off this last half. Weed making some nice moves. He does have the anti on the other end. Looking around for this middle power-up. Might go for the kiss, but instead aggressively looking for this middle power-up, making it close to getting returned. 2 tag pros again going to Spheres of War, this time 3, and things looking bleak for Trailer Park Balls in this next few seconds. And indeed that will be a cap, and Canada are going to get the extended vote for Spheres of War. Trailer Park Balls have shown the resilience to string together caps throughout points of this night, and in need of just one of those moments as we come up on the last half of Transilio here. Defense definitely going to have to step it up a little bit in these last few minutes, keeping the grabs from happening. Trailer Park Balls do win 2 out of the 3 cups, and Bubbles will look to go to work with this tag row. Lead has the grab, and they should be out with the lead here. Mufro doing some nice holding though to stay alive, but he ends up back in the Trailer Park Balls base. Bubbles doing work with this tag pro, but Mufro is not going to be returned. Crucial mistake by Trailer Park Balls defense there, but it might not be for loss as Wee brings it in for the cap regardless. I was going to say they certainly needed that cap, and they do end up getting it. So again, another important power-up round here for Trailer Park Balls in order to continue their season. But again, it looks like Spheres of War are able to win all 3. This time just 2 juices in play. Ooh, Bubbles a little bit too aggressive there, and Bamboozler again with some room to work with, but this time ends up into the spikes. But it will still be a cap for Spheres of War as Mufro now getting a bow of his own. Spheres of War firmly in control here as the time winds down. I guess this was the Equate Disney tonight, wasn't it? That's stupid of me. Here, I'll change it for the very last time. Just double check that's right. Yeah. Sorry if I just started the lag there. Probably shouldn't have brought up Chrome. Alright, so we've got power-ups up again, and this time a tag pro again going to Spheres of War. Weed's going to have to do something about that with the rolling, and he will be able to get out past 3 here. Cerez can't keep the reset though on the other end, and Mufro will be out past 2 with help from a tag pro as well. Not going to be returned still, and Cerez gonna end up being the last one ahead here, but Bubbles is the one to get the return. Time winding down, and Trailer Park Balls in need of some pretty constant caps in this last minute or so. Cerez has to get aggressive here. Ginseng ends up missing the boost, but Cerez still to be contained, and Bamboozler had the anti on the other end. Tenedor with this rolling grab and bring it into base. Gonna be diffused, but still alive and low flag. Reed has to make a play, and he's pushed off. Bubbles not in danger of being returned though. Alright, so that will do it. After an exciting 3 games from both these teams. Alright, so your winners for this matchup are Spheres of War in an equidistant matchup, not a spherical 6. Really good games to both teams. Trailer Park Ball is coming out strong to start and really showing flashes of good team play throughout the night. But pretty much after that first rush half, things really started to go the way of Spheres of War. So that will do it for me and for this week of playoff matches. Should be back next week with some more games. So thanks for tuning in to those who did, and we will see you next time. Take it easy.